Hey guys, Steven here. I'm unemployed now and I worked out that I can download XCOM on Steam. So we're gonna do a little let's play of almost certainly the best game that anyone ever made, ever. You know, just my opinion. We're gonna skip the intro. We're gonna play in English, probably. It's gonna go new game, superhuman, hardest difficulty. Okay, so I'm not gonna like show every single thing I ever do in this game because it would just take too long. Jesus, sort of choppy. Right, I might have to change the DOSBox settings or something. But anyway, basically, this is the planet Earth. That's what it looks like. That's what Europe looks like. Well, sort of. And we're selecting the site for our first base. I usually like to put my first base in Europe. There are a few reasons for that. One is, if you look over here and look at where your funding is coming from at the end of the month, all the countries that haven't turned into alien puppets give you funding. You see here UK, France, Germany, Italy, Spain. Those five, of course, all in Europe and making up a lot of money. The US is a big deal. And then Russia, China, Japan, India, all a big deal. So the next two bases are going to be in North America and Asia. I like to put my first one in Europe, though, just because there are so many more countries in a very small space, so you can cover them all with just this small radar system that you start off with. So here I've gone into, click on bases, gone into my base. Story is, I'm a multinational organization that's being started to fight off the alien threat. Planet Earth is getting invaded by aliens. We don't know much about them at this point. I have $4 million, which is, yeah, absolutely ludicrous. This game is a little old. $4 million doesn't buy anything these days. And we have to set up this base. Like, it already starts out with enough to do things. We have three interception craft, 2 interceptors, which are for shooting down enemy planes, enemy UFOs. Each comes with a Stingray missile launcher and a cannon. And we have a Sky Ranger, which has 8 soldiers in it, all rookies. And they have little equipment. And once we shoot down the UFOs, we can send them in and take out the UFOs. I like to just focus on rifle play at the beginning. Rifles and grenades. Grenades are extremely powerful, especially when your soldiers are rookies, because they cannot shoot very much. So grenades, you know, you don't have to land them very close to the aliens to kill them. Also, switching the weapons of your interceptors to avalanche missile launchers as soon as possible will help a lot. They're a lot more powerful for taking out UFOs. So we're going to sell some stuff to free up space. Going to sell that Stingray launcher I just switched out and all the cannons. Sell all my Stingray missiles. Cannon rounds. Going to sell our pistols. Heavy cannon. This just simplifies the game very much down to the stuff that works efficiently. Getting rid of our rocket launcher. Like, heavy weapons can be great and all, but meh. I'm gonna hold on to a couple of smoke grenades just for fun. Not enough. Problem with smoke grenades is that, like, the computer cheats and knows where your guys are, even if you have put smoke on the map, and you do not know where the computer's guys are when you put smoke on the map. That's my theory, anyway. We're gonna build some stuff. We're gonna want another general stores. That's what that is, because we're gonna run out of storage space pretty quickly. we're going to want to upgrade to a larger radar system. We're going to want another living quarters, because as we hire more scientists and engineers and soldiers as well, we're going to run out of places for them to live. And for now, that's all that's super necessary. An alien containment pretty soon to keep aliens alive, to research, interrogate them, can be useful. But not straight away, because straight away we actually want to be doing some other stuff. We start with 8 soldiers and 14s fit in the Sky Ranger, so it just makes sense to get another 6. You can even get more than this and look at each individual soldier and fire the ones that have the lowest starting statistics, especially firing accuracy. I don't know. I'm a little too lazy for that right now. We need 3 more avalanche launchers to get 2 on each interceptor, and some avalanche missiles. And we're gonna need rifles for on your soldiers, 6 of those. Some rifle clips. We're not going to be using rifles that long because we researched laser technology pretty quickly and started being able to make laser cannons. But a few rifle clips. And quite a few grenades. That's the other reason we don't need that many rifle clips, because on a lot of missions people aren't even going to shoot the rifle, they're just going to throw grenades at things. I'm going to buy 14 electro flares too. These are useful for night missions. They'll light up an area of the map where you throw them. Usually you just try to avoid night missions, especially at the beginning of the game where you have no armor and, you know, terrible soldiers. But sometimes they're sort of unavoidable. And the reason we're not building that much in our starting base is to build a second base. This is the other reason that we're building a first base in Europe, is that it costs $1 million to get a base there. Ludicrous. If you look at Asia, it's $750,000 for Southeast Asia, but we can perch a base right on the eastern edge of Central Asia for just $500,000. So that saves us a good amount of money. And this base, because it doesn't start off with all these horribly placed default structures, we're going to actually build this base for defense against an alien attack. I'm not sure that we need the hangar straight away. We'll need it eventually. Maybe I should have even gone general stores before large radar. But basically the idea is when aliens attack the base, I'm just going to put the hangar down, they enter through the hangars and the access lift, which is right here. It's the first building that you place. And so the idea in setting up a defensible base, something that even if you just have like 8 soldiers there with decent weapons, there's a decent chance they can hold off an alien battleship. Just put 3 hangars, 1, 2, and 3 along the bottom, and then all your other buildings go up at the top with only this access lift connecting them. That way all of your soldiers who start off in like their living quarters and stuff like that can head over here, just block off aliens coming out of the access lift, throw lots of grenades. Should work out just fine. I'm gonna spend the rest of the money I have filling up on some more avalanche missiles and grabbing scientists, as many as possible. I feel sort of like I'm missing something because I don't usually manage to get this many scientists at the beginning of the game. I don't know. It's been a long time since I actually played this game. So we're starting up research. We can't research much because a lot of our research is based off alien technology, which we salvage from crash sites, and we haven't been to any yet. Medikits are useful definitely at the beginning of the game, but become much, much more useful once your soldiers have armor. You can only heal someone if they stay alive after being shot, and without armor, that's going to be happening probably less than half the time someone gets shot. So usually I just go straight for laser weapons. Motion scanners are extremely useful. And they're also very good to build. They tend to matter more once you have soldiers that you care about dying, though. because at the beginning of the game you can always just send a rookie soldier in to check where the aliens are by having them shoot at him. Whereas once you have fairly developed soldiers, you want to keep those alive, use a motion scanner to see where the aliens are, and maybe even throw a grenade to where they are without being able to see them. I like to go through my soldiers at the beginning of the game and just give them a rating based on firing accuracy. This is just very practically useful during a mission to know without bothering about actually looking at their statistics. Just looking at their names can work out whether I trust them to try to take a shot with a rifle or whether I'm going to just be throwing a grenade with them. So generally, like low 40s is going to be a 5. Just firing accuracy is what I'm looking at. And 50s, low 50s will be a 4. High 50s is going to be a 3. Low 60s up to like 68 or something I'll put as 2. And then you usually don't start off with any soldiers that are above 68 firing accuracy. The game, every time you do a mission, any soldier who has used one of these statistics has a roll to see how much it increases by. So if he's shot and hit an alien, he'll increase firing accuracy. And I think when they have done something successfully, that's what leads to their time units and stamina being upgraded. That's how far they can move each turn and how long they can move for before they stop being able to move. So stamina is like, it runs out over many turns. If you run 50 time units every turn, your stamina is going to be down to 0 after a few turns, and then you won't be able to run for 50 time units. Although you can still stand and shoot with those time units or something like that. Health goes up anytime you do something like that as well, so you don't need to get shot for your health to go up. Bravery is really hard to get higher because it only matters when morale drops, and generally you don't want morale to drop, so it's very common to have highly leveled up soldiers who have very low bravery still, which can make even later missions pretty sketchy, because when things go bad, they can go really bad. Reactions happen when you pass the turn with time units left and an alien walks into your vision. You take a reaction shot sometimes, depending on if you're fast enough, which is based on your reaction. Strength says how much you can carry, how far you can throw things. Firing accuracy and throwing accuracy should be self-explanatory. One reason I'm selling the heavy weapons at the beginning is if you look at all these strengths of people, they're all below 40. It's not really desirable to be loading them down with the missile launcher. It's going to make it really hard for them to move around. Plus they're just going to miss an alien with it anyway. And so at this point everything's set up. I am researching, right? I can't manufacture anything yet. I haven't researched the ability to. I do have 10 engineers who are just sitting around. And now we just sort of wait. Our radar scanners are looking around. There probably aren't any aliens at all right now. Can just change how fast time goes by, and yeah, we're just waiting for something to happen. Usually for the first month of the game, you're only gonna see like 2 or 3 alien ships. Here we've gotten our supplies for the Sky Ranger. I'm not gonna bother putting them on the Sky Ranger yet. We'll be able to do that before we send it out, once we actually find an alien ship. And, okay, these we do need to fix up. Our interceptors now. So Interceptor 1 I already put an avalanche missile launcher on. We don't want both of the interceptors rearming at the same time, so I'm going to put 2 avalanche cannons on the second one, and wait for about a day while that rearms, sell the junk that I just took off. And then once that's rearmed, we'll put the other avalanche missile launcher onto our first interceptor. Probably around now will be good. Yep. You can see it says rearming there, so after a while it stops rearming. Okay, so we've got more soldiers and some more scientists, so we just throw the scientists straight away onto our research project. Progress is good. Progress is excellent now. That probably means that I will finish it at midnight. Science projects always finish at midnight. I'm sure there's a way to micromanage science projects so that you don't waste any scientist hours. I just don't care enough. This is not a game that I'm like playing multiplayer against other people and trying to get ahead at. I'm playing against a computer, which does something completely different from what I'm doing. So, you know, I'm pretty confident I can beat it without wasting my life micromanaging. And again, I'm not going to bother putting them on the Sky Ranger yet. I'll put them on when I actually prepare it for a mission. Alright, so here we go. We've seen our first UFO. It's small, altitude very high, heading northwest, speed 2400 knots, I believe. I don't know what the measurement is there. And we just send our interceptor out. We clicked on intercept, click the interceptor, and it's going to head out now. We should probably speed it up from 5 seconds and shoot that guy down. As the game progresses and you get more technology, you can find out more about what exactly these ships are. And then once an interceptor is there, we can look at which alien ship it is exactly. So that's a small scout, I believe. Just attacking aggressively with avalanche launchers and 2 missiles are enough to take it down. Alright, and now we're going to head over to bases and equip our Sky Ranger. I could definitely have sent it out earlier than this, but, you know, I didn't. I like to have 2 clips for each soldier, but having more than that doesn't make much sense. The more weight that they're carrying, the faster their stamina drains. And if they get over a certain amount of weight, they can no longer even use their full allotment of movement points each turn. Time units, rather, each turn. And obviously we don't need to take electro flares because it's going to be the middle of the day when we land. And we head over to Spain. Let's see where exactly we're going. Okay, apparently we don't give borders in this version of the game. Sky Ranger ready to land near Crash Shot 1. Begin mission. Okay, so basically this is telling us there are probably still aliens alive in this UFO. In fact, I can tell you 100% there will be aliens alive in the UFO. And there will be quite a few of them because I'm playing on Superhuman. So, here we have our Sky Ranger. If we move up, we can see the full Sky Ranger. Our soldiers are loading out the back door, and this guy can see an alien. If we click on the flashing one, we see exactly where he is. Now, there is like 0% chance that this guy is going to be able to shoot that alien. The most effective and safe way, and honestly there isn't a great safe way to kill this alien right now. He has his full time units because it's turn 1, so he didn't move last turn. So he's going to be able to take reaction shots for sure. And while he only has a pistol, which makes him less accurate, he's still a lot more threatening than my rookies with no armor and no ability to do anything. The other problem is I'm currently inside a spaceship. It's hard to throw a grenade at him because of this engine on the wing. It's in the way. So we need to get someone out of the way of that engine. And the way we're going to do that is I'm going to choose someone who's got a low firing accuracy just because their time units are a little less valuable. You're going to prime a grenade for 0 turns, so it will blow up in 0 turns. And, okay, apparently he can't throw it that far. That sucks. Because I guess this guy's in the way. This guy has 59 time units. That grenade will probably still be useful. Let's have this guy prime a grenade. Just toss it over to this guy, go into his inventory, and there's this primed grenade on the ground. Note that there's nothing that actually tells you it's primed right now. And alright, there you go. That guy's dead. Fortunately, my entire squad can still move. That guy's dead. Oh, he's unconscious, so the medikit would actually be useful here. This is really rookies at their best. Oh, shit. Well, this is quite exciting. I'm not sure this has ever happened to me before. There's no way to tell which one of these grenades is primed. So what we're going to do now is have all my guys run over and pick up grenades. Well, that one is unprimed, because I still have the ability to prime it. This mission's going well. Very, very well. This guy does have a primed grenade for sure, so I'm going to use him and this grenade to take care of the current threat. And that will let me clean up the fact that I have a primed grenade on the front of the ramp. Now 2 primed grenades on the front of the ramp. This game can be tough, I guess. Maybe the ones at the front are the primed ones. Well, that one isn't. Let's see how many other aliens there are hanging around waiting to kill me. There's one right there. This is very, very bad. On the bright side, this grenade, if it goes off, isn't necessarily going to kill everyone. Well, this guy can't run away, this guy can't run away. Yeah, it's pretty much going to kill everyone. Oh, there are 2 of them, by the way. Whoopee. Alright, so this guy's found one of the prime grenades. You can't throw it that far. Fortunately, if he ends the turn with it in his hand, it doesn't actually blow up. Also, fortunately, that only takes 6 time units to move there. And so we managed to get a grenade off. Now it's just a matter of finding the other one, taking care of that other alien that's looking rather nasty. Right there. Not that one. This is sort of the beauty of XCOM, that I've played this game, I've beaten it many times. Probably not double figures, but I've certainly played it to a good point through the game in the double figures. I just sort of get a little bored sometimes. There it is. I've never had this happen to me before. This guy has 14 movement points. He needs 14 movement points to throw this grenade. He now has 14 left. Let's try to... Let's just hide him. How about that? Because he can hold on to the grenade and it won't explode. But if the alien shoots him, we're screwed. And I think I can get a grenade to the alien by priming it with this guy. This guy's pretty fast. I don't know though. I could have added this up. Again though, this is a game. Okay, and so that should take care of that alien, and everybody is still alive. Well, that's not true. But everybody who didn't already die is still alive. Like, the guys who died when they stepped out of the plane were pretty much a lost cause. Nothing really I could do about that. Those grenades go off, kill those aliens. Obviously I just pressed end turn, so now it's the alien's turn. And someone's down there shooting at me. My third guy has died. He's the one who went unconscious. Had I had medikits, I would have been able to stop him from dying by repairing the fatal wound. And now here we are in turn 2. There's an alien up here. He's going to be relatively easy to take out. I'll just throw a grenade at him. The UFO is right here, right next to my Sky Ranger. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a hole in the ceiling. If it had a hole in the ceiling, I can just throw grenades through the hole. Makes it a lot safer to take out. On the other hand, you know, they're rookies. It's totally fine to lose them. So what I'll end up doing is giving a rookie 2 grenades, primed in both hands, and running him through the door. Good throw. Boris. Beast. So that'll be that alien done for. And there is someone shooting down here, so basically what I'm going to do is run this guy down. He's got horrible firing accuracy, so like theoretically he could develop into a great soldier, but realistically he's just going to be liability. Run him down to say hi to the alien, stand him right in front of it, get a grenade ready to throw. I'm always, you've probably noticed, priming grenades with someone else throwing them to someone's feet and then having him run. Just a way to sort of exploit the turn-based nature of the game. Unfortunately, there's this front wing. Oh, he's standing under the engine, so I think if I go here, maybe I can get it out. Yeah, there we go. Can be a little hard to throw grenades from underneath a plane. And the rest of these guys I'm going to just sort of fan out, try to have them end the turn in some amount of cover. Being by a wall or behind a fence even really does count for something in this game. It's quite fun. This guy's holding a primed grenade. I'm actually just going to avoid the possibility of that blowing up on all of my guys by getting rid of it now. Because at any moment I could run into an alien's line of vision, have him shoot me, my guy dies, the grenade drops on the ground, and I have to either get someone over there to pick it up or, you know, it blows up. That was dumb. I don't really want to be running guys round past this guy in case he still has time units left, and the reason he hasn't shot yet is just that his reactions are... I actually think all of their reactions are the same, so I won't say his reactions are poor, but his virtual dice rolls with his reactions have been poor. I'm going to leave a couple of guys in the UFO. I don't expect aliens to be throwing grenades yet, but just because it's the first mission, aliens definitely can throw grenades, and sectoids, which is what type of aliens these guys are, do throw grenades quite a lot. I don't expect them to have grenades and be throwing them on the first mission, although maybe they do. But, you know, it just makes sense not to have 5 guys next to each other in a grenade blast radius. Plus, when you're standing inside the Sky Ranger, you have a decent amount of cover. Nikolai looks like he's pretty likely going to be dropping his rifle, putting another grenade in his other hand, and then running through that door. There's no reason to do it straight away, of course. Because, you know, if there are aliens in there, if they're not doing anything to me right now, I can head around, spread out, look at the rest of the map, and then come back at the end once I'm certain that I actually have soldiers to spare and stuff like that. And I can have more soldiers by the door to support, and then I can head into the UFO. I'm suspecting, because I haven't heard any movement in the alien turns, you can usually hear them if they're opening doors and stuff like that. You can also, like, these 2 houses are exactly the same layout. I'll wait until next turn to show you that, actually. But it's a cute and silly little trick. And I sort of want to just leave the rest of the guys where they are because movement is sort of slow. I'm going to speed up the movement. Like a racer. Okay. I'm just gonna leave these two guys in the Sky Ranger. It's a small map, so there's not really... Oh, someone else should go help that guy. Ideally, I find that having guys in groups of 3s is probably the best way to do things. It does help to spread out. Like, you could put all 14 rather, of your guys in one group and just go around the map in a circle. The biggest problem for me with that is just practically it takes forever, and I don't want to take forever to do a mission. You can also, of course, run into problems with grenades and aliens shooting at you from across the map and not having anyone nearby to throw a grenade. So I find that this sort of strategy where I have quite a few guys running around, one of them runs ahead to spot, another hangs back, maybe shoots if he wants, and a third is there for priming grenades. And you can always have this guy prime a grenade, throw it way over like here, then this guy can pick it up and throw it up here if you need some help in that area. So what I was going to show you is, see, this door's open now that my guys walk through it, and when my cursor is here you can see more of the red rectangle, prism, whatever that is, than when it's behind the wall, because the door's open, and also more than you can see here, because that door's closed too. So you can see if these doors are open or not. There's a door right there and it's closed. That door, of course, is closed. I can see it now. And we can check upstairs too, although we can actually see upstairs from the windows. I guess we don't have to. I'm gonna set this guy up with another grenade. Doesn't have enough time units to prime both of them this turn. Another thing you can do is, just on the off chance that one of the aliens pops their heads out in their turn, you can prime a grenade for one turn and leave it in front of the door. So that grenade won't go off at the end of my turn. It's on a 1-turn fuse, so it will go off at the end of the alien's turn. And if they opened the door during their turn, that grenade blast is going to go through their ship. Okay, so they did it. But like, it's just one grenade. And while like I was able to spend all of my money very quickly, I'm sure you noticed at the beginning of the game, you'll see at the end of this mission that money isn't a great concern. I'm getting these guys set up by the door. I want this guy with 2 grenades to be close to the door so he can run in and have time to throw the grenades. And I also want other guys close to the door so they can go in after him if it's plausible to take all the aliens out and they're in 1 turn, do some shooting. I'm pretty sure there are just no other aliens except for inside the ship. And sectoids and small spaceships tend to be like, there'll probably be, especially since there's no hole in the roof, which shows that there's less structural damage inside, there's probably going to be at least 3. I wouldn't be surprised if there were 5 in here. Well, there's 3. They're all facing the door, which is no good for this guy. He's very dead. And so is that guy behind him. not so great, but on the bright side, there is a grenade at their feet, and all of those guys are going to die. Just bringing some more guys over to make sure I can take out anyone that's left inside next turn. Oh, that was interesting. So what just happened is the first grenade that he had dropped went off before the one he threw, and it actually blew up the one that he threw before it was able to go off, which meant that only one of the grenades went off. Fortunately, this guy decided to turn around. Like, my plan for that turn was just to overwhelm him either way. And okay, so we've taken over the ship. We have some UFO navigation stuff over here. This is a UFO power source. They're extremely valuable, and they're actually very hard to collect later on in the game. You get them a decent amount at the beginning of the game because your ship's weapons are terrible. Later on in the game, your ship's weapons are so good that you tend to just be blowing up the UFO power sources when you shoot down alien ships. There's an alien somewhere. It looks like he's there. You can... maybe not. Maybe I just blew up his corpse when I blew that up. You can look around the map and see if the corpses of the aliens you killed are still there. So, this guy stood up. And, yeah, when they're not, there's a chance that the alien, you just knocked him unconscious and he's woken up and is wandering around. But anyway, that's that. There was one unconscious alien who we would have been able to interrogate, but we have no alien containment, which is whatever, that's fine. And we get this mission summary. Not great. I lost 5 guys, which is more than usual for a first mission. That alien with the pistol at the start was, yeah, tough to deal with. Get some points for recovering various stuff. The alien alloys are like the ship's walls and things. You can repurpose those for armor, mainly. And the Alarium is the ship's fuel, which comes out of the power source and is used for stuff like flying suits and more advanced technologies. Some weapons. So our total score is 67, and that Spain remembers that. Spain remembers that we did a mission in Spain and scored 67 points. And it remembers other things too, like that we shot down an alien ship in Spain. And Italy, I don't know if it actually went over Italy, but if it went over Italy and we didn't shoot it down, Italy will remember that a UFO went over Italy and didn't get shot down. And at the end of the month, funding, the changes are going to reflect our points totals with these guys. We can actually sell all this stuff before the Sky Ranger even gets back to our base. But I didn't. So here we go, we have plasma rifles. We're just going to sell all of this. There's not much reason to research plasma rifles or plasma pistols because you start getting heavy plasma pretty quickly, and they're just pretty much strictly better than plasma rifles or pistols. And you don't need to research these ones before you can research heavy plasmas. So you might as well just be selling those for money at the beginning of the game. Focus your research on heavy plasma once you find them. Mine probes, you find these at the start of the game more than later on in the game, it seems like, and they sell for $300,000. So while they're fairly rare, and like if you for some reason wanted to use mine probes, it would make sense to hold on to them. What they do is any soldier who's using them is allowed to basically see the statistics screen of any alien, which is most useful for when you want to capture an alien leader or commander. You can use mine probes to see if they are a leader or commander, or if instead they're a navigator maybe, or a soldier, or an engineer, who you might want to capture too, but they're not quite as integral to winning the game. I'm going to sell the power source and navigation, just because I suspect that I'll find more before I have the chance to research them. Alien alloys can sometimes be in a little bit of short supply. I guess one thing I should have said before all of this is that I'm playing on Superhuman, which means there are going to be more alien spaceships and they're going to have more guys in them, so I'm going to be getting much more equipment than you would be if you were playing on a lower difficulty. Which, you know, is sort of funny. It in some ways makes Superhuman easier in one aspect than lower difficulties because I have so much more stuff coming in. The Illyrium I am definitely not selling. You want to hold on to Illyrium always. You will run out of that at the end of the game. Well, you can manage it so you don't run out of it, but it will definitely be something you're... Jeez, really? Be something that you're like restricting yourself from using. You won't be taking technologies which cost Illyrium into battle because you just don't have enough Illyrium. So we can look at how these soldiers leveled up, and you can see the full color is where they were to begin with, and the lighter color is what they've improved just over one mission. So some of them didn't move at all, and some of them did, and you see a lot of firing accuracy going up just by one. Which is pretty normal. I'm going to need another 8 soldiers, it looks like. And I don't have enough living space. This is awkward. So I guess I'm just going to let these guys go. Yeah, Kenji. So. You don't get any money to let them go, but I need healthy soldiers who I can put on my ship to fight aliens, and those guys are all going to be wounded for over 10 days, plus they're raw recruit soldiers that don't have much value. And I have money. Like, that's not a concern, really. I can't buy more scientists or engineers or anything until this living quarters is finished. And there's not much else that I really need in Europe right now. Like, I could start on another living quarters and another lab or something like that. What I find works maybe a little bit better is to specialize your other bases. Like, Europe is just going to be a very general base, which has a little research, a little manufacturing going on all at once. On the other hand, Asia, I have the ability to choose exactly what I do with it. And the same is going to be true with my North American base, which I'm about to build. Let's put it there. I don't think... Well, let's put it there. I don't really think it matters much where exactly you put it. Actually... Shoot, I can't cancel that. I maybe should have built it in Central America because it would have been a bit cheaper. But like hangars and general stores, which are what I'm going to start off in this base because I can't afford a large radar system in a hangar right now. I guess maybe this wasn't obvious, but I can't build anything. Sorry, I can't build anything here. It has to be connected to the rest of the stuff. So that's why I'm only building 2 buildings at a time in these new bases, because I want them to be defendable easily. So that's going to be an engineering base. Asia is going to be a lab base. I'll be focusing money mainly on developing those. As the game progresses, I'll probably pick up a base in Australasia next, then South America, then Africa, and then the poles. The bases at the poles are useful to have just to extend your radar net over the entire planet. My soldiers should level up. My scientists will finish researching laser weapons soon. Oops, that's the wrong base. Very soon. Actually, I'm going to stop playing this very soon. But let's go until laser weapons are researched, just so I can show you what it looks like. Here we go. Okay. Actually, laser weapons don't let you build anything, so that's what that looks like. But next I'm researching laser pistol, and that'll let me build laser pistols. And you can also see that I can research these things that I've collected from the aliens, sectoid corpses and stuff like that. And I can now go into this UFOpedia and surely somewhere I can read about laser weapons. Looks like maybe that just doesn't do anything. Okay, so all laser weapons does is let me research laser pistol. I'm gonna shut down this video for now. I don't know if I'll record like a lot of what I'm playing really. I might jump back in like after a couple of months of game time to show you what sort of the late early game looks like, and then again later for the middle game stuff. But this has been the very, very beginning of the game, and you've seen pretty much everything except for manufacturing. I showed you research, infrastructure, equipment, shooting down a UFO, attacking a UFO. So yeah, it's a fun game. I'd recommend that you pick it up. It's $5 on Steam, and like it's worth hundreds and hundreds of hours of play. So